Hey, Tennessee. Monica Irvin here, and wanted to make a video. Didn't really know any other way to really get this message out. Something that is just becoming very alarming for the pro-life movement here in Tennessee. And I want you to know I'm speaking on behalf of myself, not representing anyone else, just Monica. So in the last couple of months, there's been a movement, and they call themselves Abolish Abortion Tennessee. Well, you all of us that want to protect life, of course, we want to abolish abortion. We wish abortion wasn't even something that could ever be imagined. I have been in the protecting life movement for a while, but not as long as many people. Many people that over 3 decades ago started, or more, I'm probably got my dates wrong, y'all, decades ago, started Tennessee Right to Life. People in our state have been fighting for the unborn ever since Roe v. Wade became law. People that believe life begins at conception. People that believe that babies in the womb deserve protecting. And I fight for that, as many do that I know and love. But we fight for all life. We fight for the lives of women and girls. That's always been part of the pro-life movement, even fathers and grandparents that often don't get a say. Well, they never get a say when their grandchildren, and sometimes fathers, their child is going to be aborted. So there's been some division. You know, anytime that there is division, especially within a righteous cause, there's only one person to blame, and that's called the enemy. Many of you have read the Screwtape Letters, and I couldn't help but this morning think about that, thinking if you were the most pro-life state, or at least the top 2 pro-life states in America, it is illegal in Tennessee to have an abortion. Whether it's surgical, whether it's a mail-in, take the pills, get them through the mail, it's illegal in Tennessee. That doesn't mean they don't happen, but it is illegal. The only way you can have a medical abortion and abortion is if the life or health of the mother is in jeopardy. And of course, we support protecting mothers. But Abolish Abortion Tennessee were spearheading a piece of legislation that one of our legislators sponsored that did not make it out of committee. And it was a piece of legislation that on the onset sounds good. Sounds like most pro-lifers would be for it. Basically said that children in the womb deserve the same legal protection as those living on the outside of the womb. And I agree with that. But it goes a little further, and something that they really aren't talking about. Their talking points they don't really include where they want this to end. But where they're headed with this, and where they want this legislation to end up, is that a woman or girl who has an abortion would be criminally charged with murder, with capital murder. And that the penalties of that abortion, that capital murder, would be the same penalty as any murder. And it's not that those of us that support life don't believe that shedding innocent blood is murder. But you see, I know this abortion industry, as many of you pro-life people do. It is a bloodthirsty industry. Planned Parenthood and those that profit off of abortion, one of their greatest tactics is to exploit girls and women, number one, in crisis. They are very aware of the child molesters, of family members that bring in little girls to have abortions that have been abused and go ahead and let the abortion happen and not report that to any law enforcement. They're very aware of the women and girls that are trafficked every day, sexually trafficked, and then get pregnant and are brought in or forced in by their pimps, by those that have complete control over them to get abortions. They allow those abortions to take place. I do not believe that the outcome that these abolitionists are seeking takes into their minds the ramifications of their efforts. Right now, Tennessee Right to Life has put billboards up across the state, and other pro-life state pro-life organizations across the United States, because I've seen them as I've traveled, have put billboards up everywhere trying to inform the public that there is a pill reversal. So the number one way to have an abortion today now is to have the abortion pills mailed to your home, so you can do it in the privacy of your home. That's illegal in Tennessee. You know, this industry that claims to care about women and girls lets these women and girls have an abortion, take a pill that starves their uterus, which then starves the baby of the nutrients it needs to stay alive, and then they have to take a second pill the next day or 48 hours later to actually force themselves into labor. They don't tell these girls and women all the complications that can happen from doing that outside of being in medical care. And in fact, they tell girls that if you start bleeding heavily or something goes wrong, when you get to the ER, don't tell them you've taken the pill. We don't want you to give the doctors all the information they need in order to take the best care of you, because we care about you so much. No, they don't do that. Well, the pill reversal, many girls and women, after they take that first pill, they regret it. We meet those women. Those women show up in our different birthing centers around the state. And right now, if they can take that pill reversal, and now the likelihood of saving that baby keeps continuing to rise. And we are saving babies in Tennessee because of the pill reversal. What would happen when you make it a criminal offense if that girl or woman takes that first pill and regrets it and wants to go get that pill reversal? Do you think they're going to show up at the hospital, at a parenting center, and at a women's center and try to get that pill reversal? That's not going to happen. What about all the women who suffer a miscarriage every day, and then they have complications from that miscarriage? They wind up in the ER. How are those ER doctors going to be able to distinguish between girls and women who have just had a natural miscarriage and girls and women that have attempted to have an abortion? What, are we going to start making girls and women who have had a miscarriage have to prove that they didn't try to kill their baby? All of you that care about life, a house divided will not stand. What really drew me to want to make this video is when this morning I saw all of these social media posting attacking the #1 pro-life organization in our state that has been on the front of the battle since day one. And they are the organization, the only reason that Tennessee is the most pro-life state in America. And I said, God is not in this, because the enemy is the one that wants pro-life people to fight and to self-destruct. And people like organizations like Planned Parenthood is just sitting back watching the self-destruction, enjoying every moment. Because now they have the argument that, oh, see, you all never did care about women. We knew you didn't care about women and girls. Now you're trying to put them in prison, trying to charge them with murder. What, are you going to seek the death penalty for girls and women that have had abortions? Why are you giving Planned Parenthood ammunition to use? Why are you attacking the people that day in and day out, for years, for decades, have stood on those sidewalks praying and pleading for girls to pause and consider there might be another way? All of the marches, all of the classes. I just got finished with we're doing a pro-life apologetics class for young people to teach them how to talk about the sanctity of life. All the homeschool classes we've done, all of the contests that we've had, oratory contests, the marches, all the thousands and thousands of endless hours meeting with legislators, trying to educate them and support them in this very real battle every day to protect life in Tennessee. And now you call yourself an abolitionist and you're attacking that organization? You all, please stop. Stop. What's going to happen, what you're risking, is us losing everything we have fought for in Tennessee. So I want to implore you to pause and hit your knees, and like I have, and just ask the Lord, is this the right way? Is this what you want us to do? Is this the way that we will save the most babies? Is this the way that we could save all of the babies? We want to save them all. Of course we do. Of course we do. Or if you continue down this path, are you going to destroy the babies that we're saving? I cannot see that the Lord is inspiring an organization who claims to be pro-life to turn and viciously attack Tennessee Right to Life. I am not speaking for Tennessee Right to Life. I'm speaking for Monica Irvin. I just have such respect for that organization. And I do serve and volunteer for that organization. And that's why I sit there and watch the blood, sweat, and tears that they put in every day to protect and save babies in Tennessee. I call on Monty Fritz to voice support of the organization that has fought with him that has fought for this state and to condemn any attacks on this organization. We want to protect babies. We want to protect the unborn. We have to stand together to do that. We have to stand together to do that. There has to be unity. We don't have to agree on every single method, but we cannot turn on each other. It will hurt us. It will hurt the babies. That's who we care about the most, right? Our citizens of Tennessee. Thank you for listening.